Silence is strength. Not every battle needs an audience. Those words carry weight because they speak to a truth we often forget in a world where everything seems to demand attention. Social media, conversations, even our own insecurities push us to put our struggles on display as though validation from others will solve what we're going through. But here's the reality: strength isn't built by broadcasting pain. It's forged in the quiet moments, in the decisions we make when no one is watching. When you face a battle, there's a temptation to shout it from the rooftops, to look for someone to tell you it's going to be okay. And while there's nothing wrong with seeking support from the right people, not everyone who listens has your best interests at heart. Some will pretend to care while secretly doubting you. Others will use your struggles as gossip. And a few might even celebrate your pain because it makes them feel better about their own lives. Not every battle deserves an audience because not every audience deserves to see your fight. True strength is about knowing what to share and what to hold close. It's about understanding that your growth doesn't need to be validated by anyone else. The most powerful victories are those you achieve in silence, when you face your fears, confront your doubts, and overcome obstacles without applause. That silence isn't weakness, it's the sound of you building character, resilience, and focus. You see, silence forces you to look inward. It makes you sit with the discomfort, wrestle with the problem, and find solutions that come from within. When you resist the urge to seek external validation, you discover the voice inside you that says, "I've got this." And that voice, that's your strength speaking. That's the part of you that refuses to be defined by the opinions or judgments of others. Think about a tree in a storm. It doesn't yell for help or demand attention. It bends, it sways, but it stands firm, rooted in its foundation. That's what silence is staying rooted when life tries to uproot you. It's the quiet resolve to weather the storm, knowing that when the winds die down, you'll still be standing. There's another reason silence is strength. It keeps people guessing. When you keep your battles to yourself, you maintain control over your narrative. People don't need to know your every move, your every challenge. Let them see your success, not your struggle. Let them wonder how you did it, not how hard it was. Silence protects your energy and keeps your focus where it belongs, on overcoming, not explaining. At the end of the day, your battles are yours. They're shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And when you rise, when you achieve what seemed impossible, the silence you kept won't seem like a burden. It'll feel like power. Because it is. Sharing problems with the wrong people gives them power over you. Let that sink in for a moment. When you open up about your struggles to the wrong audience, you're not just venting or seeking advice, you're handing over pieces of your vulnerability to people who may not respect, value, or protect it. Not everyone who listens cares, and not everyone who cares is capable of helping. You have to be wise, discerning, and intentional about who you let into your most personal battles. There's a dangerous myth that says airing your problems to anyone who will listen is a sign of strength. But let me tell you, it's the opposite. Strength doesn't lie in exposing every wound to the world. It lies in knowing which battles to fight privately and which allies to trust. When you share your problems with the wrong people, you risk giving them the tools to manipulate, judge, or diminish you. Some people don't see your vulnerability as a cry for help. They see it as an opportunity to gain leverage over you. Think about it, the more someone knows about your weaknesses, your fears, or your struggles, the more power they have to shape your narrative. They might offer advice that steers you off course, not because they mean harm, but because they don't understand your journey. Worse, some might use your pain as gossip or a means to tear you down behind your back. Your struggles are not entertainment. They're not content for someone else's story. And they're certainly not ammunition to be used against you. When you share too freely, you also risk tying your self-worth to the opinions of others. You start to depend on their sympathy or approval, and when that doesn't come, it can leave you feeling even more lost. You see, not everyone is equipped to handle the weight of your story, and that's okay. But you must recognize this truth and act accordingly. Your struggles are sacred. Treat them as such. Now, I'm not saying to hold everything inside or to fight every battle alone. We all need support. But support isn't found in numbers, it's found in quality. It's about choosing people who have earned the right to hear your story, people who will lift you up instead of weighing you down. These are the ones who listen without judgment, who guide without control, and who encourage without pity. They help you see solutions, not just problems. Protect your energy, protect your growth, and protect your story. The moment you stop giving away your power to the wrong people, you reclaim it for yourself. And with that power comes clarity, focus, and resilience. Share your problems, yes, but share them wisely. Because in the end, your battles are not for everyone. They're for you to conquer, for you to grow from, and for you to grow from, and for you to emerge stronger than ever. Choose who you let into your world, because that choice shapes the outcome of your journey. Sympathy won't solve your struggles. Solutions come from within. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking comfort when life gets hard. We want someone to tell us it's going to be okay or you're doing your best. And while those words can feel good in the moment, they don't fix the problem. They don't get you out of the hole you're in. Sympathy is a band-aid for a wound that needs stitches. It might make you feel better temporarily, but it won't stop the bleeding. The truth is, struggles don't get solved by someone else's words. They get solved by your actions, your mindset, and your willingness to push through the pain. Sympathy doesn't give you answers. It doesn't hand you a plan, a path, or a purpose. What it does is give you a moment to pause, and sometimes that pause can be dangerous. Because while you're soaking in sympathy, you're not moving forward. You're not taking ownership of your struggle. And until you do that, nothing changes. Now, don't confuse sympathy with support. Support is action. It's someone lending a hand when you're falling. Sympathy is observation. It's someone acknowledging that you're down but not doing anything to help you get back up. And sometimes even the support you need can only come after you started moving on your own. Nobody can walk your path for you. Nobody can make the tough decisions, face the fear, or fight the battle in your place. That's your job. Here's the thing, struggle is uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. That discomfort is what pushes you to grow, to find solutions, and to tap into strength you didn't even know you had. But when you lean too heavily on sympathy, you numb yourself to that discomfort. You trade growth for comfort, solutions for validation, and the longer you stay in that place, the harder it becomes to move forward. When life knocks you down, don't waste energy looking for pity. Look inward. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to change this situation? What steps can I take, no matter how small, to climb out of this? That's where the answers are. Not in someone's reassuring words, but in your own determination to rise. The solutions are already inside you, waiting for you to find them. But you have to do the work. You have to take the steps. And let me tell you, when you pull yourself out of a struggle, there's a strength that comes with that. It's a strength no one can take away. A confidence that no sympathy can give you. You learn that you're capable, that you're resilient, that you can face life's hardest moments and still come out on top. So don't waste your energy chasing sympathy. Use it to chase solutions. Because at the end of the day, only you can turn your struggles into victories. Your challenges are shaping you for something greater. I know that's hard to hear when you're in the thick of it. When life has thrown every curveball your way and you're barely holding on, it's easy to feel like the weight is too much to bear. But let me tell you something, you're not being broken, you're being built. Every obstacle, every setback, every moment of pain is refining you, sharpening you, preparing you for a purpose bigger than you can imagine. Think about how diamonds are made. They start as cold, ordinary, overlooked, and buried deep in the earth. But through immense pressure and heat, something extraordinary emerges. That's what challenges do to you. They apply pressure. They create heat. They push you beyond what you think you can handle. And in the process, they bring out your brilliance, your resilience, your strength. When you're in the midst of a challenge, it's tempting to ask, why me? But the better question is, what's this teaching me? Because every challenge comes with a lesson. It might be patience, discipline, perseverance, or the ability to trust yourself when everything else is uncertain. These lessons aren't just for the moment, they're tools you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. They're equipping you for the greater purpose ahead. You see, challenges don't just test your character, they reveal it. They strip away the surface, exposing who you really are and what you're capable of. More than that, they create opportunities to grow, to evolve, to become the person you're meant to be. The struggle isn't the end of the story, it's the chapter that sets up your greatest victories. Look back at your life. Think about the hardest things you've been through. At the time, they felt impossible. They made you question yourself, your strength, and your future. But now you can see how those moments shaped you, how they prepared you for where you are today. And if you've made it through those challenges, what makes you think you won't make it through this one? The truth is, the greater the challenge, the greater the reward. Life isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. It's asking you to rise to a higher level, to step into your potential. But you can't reach that level without the process. You can't skip the struggle and expect the strength. Growth is uncomfortable because it's change, and change isn't easy. But it's worth it. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, don't run from it. Don't curse it. Embrace it. Look it in the eye and say, I'm ready, because you are. You're being shaped, refined, and strengthened for something greater. And when that moment comes, when you step into the purpose you were being prepared for, you'll look back at those challenges and realize they weren't there to stop you, they were there to make you. The world respects strength, not complaints. That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. Complaining may feel good in the moment, it might even get you a little attention, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't solve the problem, and it certainly doesn't earn respect. Strength, though, that's what turns heads. That's what moves mountains and makes people take notice. When life gets tough, it's easy to fall into the habit of airing out your frustrations. You want people to know how hard it's been, how unfair the situation is, but here's the thing, the world doesn't stop turning because you're struggling. It doesn't pause to comfort you or rearrange itself to make things easier. The world isn't looking for excuses, it's looking for results. And the people who rise, who fight, who push forward despite the odds, those are the ones who earn respect. Strength isn't about never feeling pain or frustration. It's about how you respond to it. Do you sit and complain, hoping someone will fix it for you? Or do you stand up, dust yourself off, and figure out a way to move forward? Strength doesn't mean you don't hurt, it means you don't let the hurt stop you. It's quiet, it's focused, and it's relentless. The truth is, complaining drains your energy. It puts the focus on the problem instead of the solution. And worse, it makes you dependent on the sympathy of others. But strength is independent. It doesn't need validation or approval. It's about taking responsibility for your life, even when it's hard, even when it feels unfair, because no one else is going to fight your battles for you. That's on you. And let's be real, not everyone cares. Not everyone is rooting for you. Some people will listen to your complaints just to feel better about their own lives. Others will use your struggles as ammunition to doubt you or to hold you back. The world respects strength because it shows you're capable, that you can handle whatever comes your way. Complaining, on the other hand, sends the message that you're waiting for someone else to save you. Look around. The people you admire, the ones who inspire you, they didn't get there by complaining. They faced challenges head on, they worked through the pain, and they kept going when others would have quit. They didn't waste time looking for excuses or sympathy. They found solutions and they let their strength do the talking. So when life gets hard, and it will choose strength. Choose to stand tall even when the weight feels unbearable. Choose to focus on what you can do instead of what's been done to you. Because the world doesn't hand out respect for free. It's earned through resilience, determination, and the refusal to give up. Strength is what turns struggles into success and setbacks into stepping stones. The world will respect you when you show it you're unshakable. Complaining about problems robs you of energy to solve them. Think about that. Every second you spend dwelling on what's wrong is a second you could have spent making it right. Complaining might feel like release, but it's a thief in disguise. It takes your focus, your time, and most importantly, your power. And when it's done with you, it leaves nothing behind but frustration and the same problem staring back at you unchanged. Life will always throw challenges your way, that's a guarantee, but how you respond to those challenges, that's what defines you. Complaining feels easy because it lets you shift the weight. You can blame the situation, the circumstances, or even other people. But while you're busy pointing fingers, nothing moves, you stay stuck, and the problem grows roots. Complaining doesn't make the burden lighter, it makes it harder to carry because now you're weighed down by your own negativity. Here's what happens when you complain: you're feeding the problem. You're giving it space in your mind, your emotions, and your life. You're saying, I'm stuck, and I need the world to know, but the world isn't going to fix it for you. The energy you use to complain could have been used to brainstorm solutions, take action, or even just adjust your perspective. Energy is finite, you don't have an unlimited supply. So why waste it on words that don't move you forward? You see, complaining creates a cycle. The more you talk about how bad things are, the worse they seem. The worse they seem, the less motivated you feel to do anything about them. And before you know it, you're trapped in a spiral of negativity that's harder to escape than the problem itself. But breaking that cycle starts with one simple decision: to act instead of vent. Every problem has a solution, even if it's not obvious right away. But solutions require clarity, focus, and determination. Complaining clouds your mind, distracts you, and drains the very resources you need to overcome the challenge. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, start asking, what can I do about it? Shift your energy from blame to responsibility, from frustration to action. And let me tell you something else: complaining doesn't just drain you, it drains the people around you. Nobody is inspired by someone who only talks about what's wrong. People are moved by those who rise, who fight, who refuse to let circumstances define them. Be that person. Be the one who takes the hits and keeps going, who looks for solutions when everyone else is looking for excuses. At the end of the day, your energy is your most valuable resource. Protect it. Use it wisely. Channel it into building, solving, and growing. Because every time you complain, you're giving away a piece of that energy for nothing in return. But when you act, when you take responsibility, that's when you take back your power and turn your struggles into strength. Keep your head down and let your results speak louder than your words. There's power in that, more than most people realize. In a world where everyone is quick to announce their moves, their plans, and their ambitions, the quiet worker stands out not by noise, but by proof. Results don't just talk, they shout, and their voice is undeniable. They carry a weight that words alone never could. Talking about what you're going to do might earn you attention for a moment, but it won't keep it. Promises are cheap, anyone can make them. But delivering on those promises, that's where respect is earned. That's where people stop to notice. You don't need to declare how hard you're working or how much you're striving. The world will see it when the results come. And when they do, there'll be no room for doubt. There's something about keeping your head down that builds strength. It's about focus. It's about discipline. When you're not distracted by the need for validation, you can give your all to the task at hand. You're not wasting energy trying to convince people of your worth. You're proving it through action. That's where true confidence comes from. Not from talking, but from knowing you've put in the work, from knowing you've earned every bit of what's coming to you. But let me tell you, staying quiet isn't just about humility. It's strategy. The less you say, the less room there is for criticism, for doubt, or for people to sabotage your efforts. When you work in silence, you take the power back. You stay in control of your narrative because your results will speak for themselves when the time comes. And when they do, they'll speak louder than any words ever could. Silence doesn't mean you're not doing anything. It means you're doing everything. It means you're grinding, hustling, and building something that will last. It's about creating a legacy, not just making noise. Because noise fades. Words get forgotten. But results leave a mark. They stick. They change the game. So don't get caught up in the urge to announce your every move. Don't feel the need to explain yourself or prove anything before the work is done. Keep your head down, stay focused, and let the results do the talking. When you walk into a room with undeniable success behind you, there's nothing left to say. People will see it, feel it, and respect it. In the end, the loudest voice in the room isn't the one making all the noise. It's the one backed by evidence, by effort, and by undeniable achievement. So work quietly, work smart, and trust that your results will speak for you when the time is right. Because when they do, the world will have no choice but to listen. Every setback carries a seed of growth if you're willing to learn. Life has a way of knocking you down when you least expect it. It'll hit you hard, make you question your path, and sometimes even make you want to give up. But setbacks aren't the end, they're the beginning of something greater, if you choose to see it that way. They're not just obstacles, they're opportunities in disguise, pushing you to grow in ways you didn't even know you needed. Setbacks force you to stop, to reflect, and to reassess. They make you confront your weaknesses, your blind spots, and your limits, and that's uncomfortable it's supposed to be. Growth never happens in comfort zones. It happens when you're stretched, challenged, and forced to adapt. Every time you face a setback, life is asking you a question: what are you going to do now? And your answer to that question defines who you become. Think about it, no one grows stronger without resistance. A muscle only gets bigger when it's pushed to its limit, torn apart, and then rebuilt. The same is true for your character, your mind, and your spirit. Setbacks are the resistance you need to grow stronger. They're the weight that prepares you for the next level. But here's the thing, growth doesn't happen automatically. It's a choice. It requires you to look beyond the pain and frustration and ask, what can I learn from this? When you shift your mindset from victim to student, everything changes. You stop seeing setbacks as punishments and start seeing them as lessons. Maybe the lesson is patience, maybe it's resilience, maybe it's about reevaluating your approach, your priorities, or your goals. Whatever it is, there's always something to learn. And that learning is what plants the seed of growth. Now, let's be clear, learning from a setback doesn't mean you have to like it. Pain is pain, and loss is loss. But even in the darkest moments, there's light if you're willing to look for it. That light is the wisdom, the strength, and the perspective that come from overcoming what tried to break you. And once you find it, you'll realize that the setback wasn't there to stop you, it was there to shape you. Setbacks also teach you something about yourself. They reveal your character, your grit, and your ability to rise. When you face a challenge and come out the other side, you're not the same person you were before. You're stronger, wiser, and better equipped for the road ahead. That's the gift of growth, and it only comes when you're willing to learn. So don't fear setbacks and don't let them define you. Instead, let them refine you. Embrace the lessons they bring and use them to fuel your journey forward. Because every time life knocks you down, it's giving you a chance to rise higher than you ever thought possible. The choice is yours. Will you grow, or will you let the moment pass you by? Vulnerability is a gift shared only with those who are worthy. Now, I know that's not the easiest thing to accept, especially when the world tells you to keep your guard up, to stay strong, to show no weakness. But let me tell you, vulnerability is power. It's real strength. It takes more courage to show your true self, to open up and to expose the parts of you that aren't perfect. But just because it's a gift doesn't mean you should be handing it out to everyone. Not everyone deserves it. Think about it when you open up, when you let someone see the raw, unfiltered version of who you are, you're giving them a piece of your soul. And that's not something you give away carelessly. There's a lot of strength in holding your peace and guarding your heart until you find the right people to share it with. Because when you're vulnerable, you're not just letting someone in, you're trusting them with your emotions, your weaknesses, your fears. That's a responsibility, not just a privilege. Too many people make the mistake of thinking that being open and vulnerable means showing everyone everything. They think they have to tell their story to every person they meet, to pour out their struggles in order to gain sympathy, or to show their wounds hoping for healing. But that's not how it works. Vulnerability is not a cry for attention, it's a tool for connection, for real relationships that are built on understanding and trust. You see, vulnerability is sacred. It's a piece of who you are, and it deserves to be treated with respect. Just like you wouldn't hand over the keys to your house to a stranger, you shouldn't hand over your deepest, most personal feelings to just anyone. You need to know that the person receiving it will treat it with care, that they will hold that trust with honor, and that they will be there for you, not just in your strongest moments, but in your weakest ones too. And here's the thing, when you share your vulnerability with the right people, the ones who are worthy of it, you'll see the difference. They won't use your weaknesses against you. They won't judge you or belittle you. Instead, they'll understand. They'll offer support, encouragement, and wisdom. They'll stand by you, and together you'll grow stronger. Because vulnerability isn't about weakness, it's about strength, connection, and growth. When you share with the right people, it opens up a deeper level of trust and understanding that strengthens your bond. But don't rush the process. Don't feel the need to share everything with everyone. Be selective. Hold on to your vulnerability until you find people who will value it, who will see it for what it truly is, a part of who you are that makes you human. When you find those people, let them in. Share with them. And trust that they'll honor that gift with the respect it deserves. Vulnerability is one of the most powerful tools you have, but it's not meant for everyone. Keep it close, share it wisely, and only with those who are worthy of it. Because the right people will lift you up while the wrong ones will drag you down. Choose carefully and always protect the gift of vulnerability. It's a treasure, not to be wasted. Let people see your resilience, not your struggles. It's easy to get caught up in the difficulty of a situation, to focus on how hard things are, how unfair life can be. It's natural to want to share that pain, to express the frustration, to make others aware of how much you're going through. But here's the truth, nobody respects you for how much you suffer. People respect you for how you overcome, how you rise, and how you stand tall when the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Life will test you. It will challenge you in ways you never imagined. You'll face setbacks, heartbreaks, and failures, but none of that defines you. What defines you is how you respond. Your struggles don't have to be your identity, and they certainly don't have to be your public story. The world doesn't need to see your pain, your frustration, or your moments of doubt. What the world needs to see is your resilience, the way you push forward, even when everything seems stacked against you. Resilience isn't about pretending things are easy when they're not. It's not about wearing a mask and acting like you've got it all together when you're falling apart inside. No. Resilience is about acknowledging the struggle, feeling the weight of it, but choosing to keep moving anyway. It's about taking the hit, getting knocked down, and finding the strength to rise again. It's about deciding that no matter how tough things get, you're not going to quit. You're not going to let life break you. Instead, you'll use every challenge to become stronger. See, people don't remember you for how many times you fall. They remember you for how many times you get back up. It's easy to make excuses, to let your problems define you, to tell everyone about your struggles and expect sympathy. But sympathy doesn't change anything. It doesn't help you grow or move forward. What helps you move forward is resilience, the decision to fight, to persist, and to keep going even when it seems like the odds are stacked against you. And let me tell you something, when people see your resilience, that's when they start to respect you. Not because you've had it easy, but because they see that you refuse to give up. They see that no matter what, you're going to keep pushing. That's what leaves an impression. And that's what inspires others. Your struggles are a part of your story, but they don't have to be the headline. Don't let your pain be what defines you. Let your strength, your determination, and your ability to rise above the challenges define you. When you let your resilience show, you inspire others to do the same. You teach them that they too can face their struggles with courage and that they can get through anything life throws at them. So the next time you're facing a challenge, don't dwell on how hard it is. Don't broadcast your pain. Instead, focus on how you're going to rise. Let people see your resilience, because that's what will make them believe in you and in themselves. Let them see that no matter what life throws your way, you'll keep standing, keep fighting, and keep moving forward. Protect your energy by choosing wisely whom to trust. In this world, not everyone who comes into your life is meant to stay, and not everyone who smiles in your face has your best interest at heart. Trust is one of the most precious things you can give to someone, but it's also one of the easiest things to misuse. And once your trust is broken, it's hard to rebuild, if ever at all. That's why you need to be smart about where you place it. Trust is a currency, spend it wisely, because once it's gone, it's hard to earn back. We've all been there. You give someone your trust, open up to them, share your dreams, your fears, your vulnerabilities, and sometimes it works. But there are also times when those you trust don't have your back. They use your words against you. They manipulate your emotions. And once that happens, it's a battle to get back what you lost. That's why you have to guard your energy. And the way you do that is by being selective about who you let in. Trust isn't something you hand out freely. It's earned, not given. And it's not just about liking someone or being around them for a while. It's about watching their actions, their consistency, and how they handle themselves when things aren't going right. Trust the people who show up when it's hard, who stay true when things aren't pretty. The ones who are with you not just in your highs, but also in your lows. You see, people show you who they really are when they don't need anything from you. Pay attention to that. People who want to steal your energy are everywhere. They'll pretend to be your friend, act like they have your back, but in reality, they're just looking for a way to drain you. They want your attention, your time, your resources without ever giving anything back. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself exhausted, drained, and wondering where all your energy went. These people can be toxic, whether they're friends, family, or even colleagues, because they don't give you what you need in return. They don't lift you up, they pull you down. That's why it's essential to choose wisely. Trust is like a bank account. You can't keep withdrawing and expect the balance to stay full. You need deposits, people who add value to your life, who bring positivity, support, and honesty. And the ones who don't, keep them at arm's length. If you give your trust to everyone, you're going to end up with nothing left for yourself. You'll be spread thin, constantly worried, constantly drained, and never able to recharge. In the end, your energy is your most valuable resource. It's what keeps you going. What drives you to be the best version of yourself? If you're giving it to the wrong people, it'll eventually run out, and you'll be left wondering where it all went. That's why it's so important to protect it. Choose carefully who you trust. Surround yourself with people who build you up, not tear you down, those who challenge you to grow, who support you when you need it, and who respect your energy. Because once you start protecting your energy and choosing wisely who you let in, you'll find that you have more strength, more clarity, and more power to take on whatever life throws your way. Your life's battles are personal. Fight them with dignity and purpose. Let me tell you something, nobody else is going to fight your battles for you. Life will throw punches, knock you down, and challenge you in ways you never imagined. And while people around you may offer advice, support, or even sympathy, at the end of the day, it's your fight. It's your journey, your struggle, and your battle to win or lose. But how you fight, that's what matters. It's not just about how tough you are, but how you carry yourself through the fight. Dignity and purpose, that's what separates the survivors from those who give up. When life knocks you down, it's easy to get angry, to feel sorry for yourself, or to let the frustration take over. And trust me, that's natural. But if you're going to come out of this fight stronger, if you're going to come out on top, you can't let your emotions control the battle. You need to stay grounded. You need to maintain your dignity. Even when it feels like the world is crumbling around you. Dignity is about how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself when things get tough. It's about not letting your circumstances dictate your character. You can be hurt, you can be challenged, but you don't have to lose yourself in the process. You fight with honor, with integrity, and with the strength that comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you will not compromise who you are. And let's talk about purpose. You need a reason to fight. When things get tough, when it feels like everything is falling apart, you have to remind yourself why you're doing it. Purpose gives you the fuel to keep going when the road is rough, when it seems easier to quit. Your purpose is what keeps you focused, keeps you moving forward, and stops you from getting lost in the struggle. If you don't know why you're fighting, then you might not fight with everything you've got. You fight for something bigger than yourself. You fight for your dreams, for your family, for your future. And that purpose, that vision will carry you through when the going gets tough. Battles in life are inevitable. You can't avoid them. But the way you fight them is what defines you. It's not about avoiding pain or hardship, it's about rising through it. When you face your challenges with dignity, when you fight with purpose, you don't just survive. You come out stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the next battle. People will see your strength. They'll see your character. And they'll respect you for how you fought, not just for what you fought for. So when the battle comes, don't lose your head. Don't let it take you to a place where you compromise who you are. Keep your dignity. Hold on to your purpose. And fight not just for victory, but for the person you're becoming through the process. The battle isn't just about winning. It's about how you handle yourself in the midst of it. That's where the real strength lies. Ladies and gentlemen, life is not about avoiding the battles, it's about how you fight them. When the storm comes, remember your dignity is your shield and your purpose is your sword. Stand tall, stay true to who you are, and fight with everything you've got. Don't let your circumstances define you. Define yourself through how you rise. The challenges you face today are shaping you into the person you're meant to be tomorrow. So fight with dignity, fight with purpose, and never forget that the true victory is in the strength you find within yourself.